Welcome back, Razor Adventure fans. Today is the start of a whole new project, and for once, I'm replacing suspension on a machine that isn't already broken. Okay, let me take that back. I guess we did do the rear radius rods a little bit ago before our trip. So I guess this machine is gonna get both ends replaced to suspension without them actually being broken. And as I say that, I think that front A-arm looks a little customized, but either way, as you know, we're well into our video series on Kentucky. I'm not sure exactly when this video is going to come out, but obviously we made it home okay, and there was no further damage to the Razor. As you guys seen last week, we got the tire patched on Goldar here, and that held up really well. We did not go to Silver Lake. We ended up in the UP. I didn't film any of it because, let's be real, it's the UP. I mean, I love Michigan, but the trails are pretty flat and straight, and you don't really slow down to smell the roses because there's always lots of ground to cover. But we had a good time, and we made it back. Today's episode of our installs and upgrades is almost 100% sponsored by Woolly Swamp Adventures. That is our friend Jeff's YouTube channel, and I'm going to give him the complete shout out for this because he gave us these arms. These are SuperAtv arched 1.5" forward A-arms. He had them and didn't need them, and he said come get them. So I guess not so much come get them, but when we rode with him in Kentucky, he loaded up a box for me. That's what's left of it. I kind of unpacked it, and let's look what we got here. This is obviously a lower and an upper, and a lower and upper. SuperAtv kit comes with, these are brake line clips, steering stop bushings. Now, we didn't put them on the 900 when we did the rack. I'm just going to kind of leave them out and see where we go, because we're not going to move up from spare, or excuse me, we're not going to go up from stock tires just yet. So, goodness, we are going to just leave it the way it is for now. But moving on, we got a couple grease zerks, whatever you want to call it. There's two spots that are open. Look like they need the, well, this is on the other side, but looks like they're going to need the angled grease zerk, so we'll wait till we're almost done installing before we get those put in. And then black oxide screws. So I guess we'll find out. There was not directions in the kit, but SuperAtv does a pretty good job of putting everything online, so we're going to kind of go through it, and I'll stop and watch videos and make sure I know what I'm doing, and then kind of walk you through our process. These did not come with ball joints, which is absolutely fine. Instead of ordering some, I'm just going to press out the stock ones and run with that. So we'll get the old 20-ton Harbor Freight press involved today and get those swapped over. We'll start on this side first, just because when I parked it, it was way over there. So I got a lot of room to work here, and then heck, I might even move it over before we do the other side. So that's the plan. To be honest with you, this is going to cover a couple days because I've only got so many hours in between shifts here. So we're going to get working on it and see how far we get today. Hang on. All right, we're just getting ready to pull the top A-arm off. I've got the bolt taken out back there. Got the sway bar link disconnected. That's actually going to come completely off. I'm going to take the sway bar right out of the front. This is not a race machine, it's a rock crawler, so we need the extra articulation. Let's see. I had to drill out the rivets. Actually, that one I just kind of spun around, heated up, and pulled the plastic off to get the brake line clips off. There's one of them here still left. This one was another riveted one I had to get out of there. I'm guessing that's what the black screws are for, because I've seen some tapped holes in the side of the arms. But we'll get to that. So that's done. Had to pull that front piece of trim off. Those two little machine screws, or construction screws, head screws or whatever. So I got that done so I can get at this front bolt. So I have to take this bolt off and that bolt off, and the A-arm should be off. Alright, so the arm came off really easy. Those two bolts was super simple. That fascia made it real easy to get to. I just want to address one quick thing. I normally don't suspend this like this, but I'm kind of avoiding taking the axle nut off. so that's why I'm doing that. 15 millimeter. A 19 worked, but it was a little sloppy, so I'll probably get something smaller for the tie rod end, but we'll worry about that when we go back together. So a 15, 15. Make sure you put them back in the orientation and spot they go. These bolts are only meant to be taken apart and put back together a few times, so I don't like having to redo that too much. I did put that's the rear arm bolt, the front arm bolt. Just trying to make sure I get everything back the way it's supposed to be. So let's get upset. I'm gonna get it set up and get that ball joint popped out. Okay, real quick, just wanted to show you my setup. I found this, I can't remember what exactly it is, but diameter fits right around the outside of the ball joint, and it's sliding right down in. I'll show you a little bit, but I don't want it to fall, but that's just with my finger here. So she's sliding out really good. I need two hands just so I can catch that. And I'll get back with you in a second. So I know I didn't address it in the video, but make sure and take your snap ring off the ball joint before you try and press it through. It's easy to find and it'll save you a lot of heartache. Okay, by process of elimination, I compared all the arms, and this is the one that I'm using here. This is the shock mount. This is for the sway bar link we're not going to use. And anyways, this is the setup I had. My press was wide enough to go all the way around the edge of the ball joint, so I just pressed it in that way, and then I reused this piece of pipe. She's down in there nice and snug, so I'm going to take it off here and make sure we can put our snap ring on, and we're headed back together. Alright, it was easy as that. We got everything torqued back down to specifications. Look up your specifications. 1, 2, 3 bolts. Went super easy. I'm not going to go into detail about how great and easy it was, because that means I'm in trouble here, but I'm going to run the brake lines once I get everything back connected here. So the next thing we're going to do is pop this lower arm off. Oh, and I got the sway bar stuff all disconnected. The bar's just hanging there waiting for the other side to come off. That's all done and ready, so let's get this lower arm taken care of. Alright, we're tackling this lower arm now. I had to take off this little dirt shield. It's right here. Actually, it's kind of like that, something. I don't know. Anyways, it was just two of those 220s, and then the 15 millimeter for the ball joint. And this one's going to be a little bit quicker, so we're just going to pop these off real quick, and we'll press out the ball joint and throw her back together here. It's kind of exciting. I mean, still got the other side to do, but this is good progress. Okay, I did our comparison again and found the replacement arm. Just like to take a little shot of the difference between these two. Everybody see what I'm seeing? I mean, good for players for keeping the weight down, but that comes at a cost. Yeah, not one I'm willing to pay. So this is our new arm. We're gonna take off our C-clip here. No, it's not a C-clip. Snap ring. There we go. We're gonna take off our snap ring here. Press the ball joint out. Pop it back in here, and we'll be going back together. All right, so that was easy. We got all of our bolts tightened back up. The ball joint swapped out just as easy as the first one. We're gonna squirt some grease in these 3 grease zerks, and that one we had to pack a little bit in before. Christopher's gonna put a zip tie. No, we'll just go around the whole line. I don't even know if we could reuse that if we wanted to, but yeah, just around the whole bar. We put the 2 brake clamps here, or brake line clamps. Those worked out really cool. And the kit includes zip ties, so we're just gonna zip tie the line right there just to make sure. I think it'd be okay, but we'll use up the zip tie and make sure it's good. So we are gonna throw the tire back on. Take a look at the difference here. That is so cool. And we're gonna throw the tire back on, swap out the other side, and keep working. All right, we got the other side put together. Took her for a little test drive, and looking at it, I noticed the wheels are towed out a little bit, but it's 1.5 inches forward, so it shortened up our alignment a little bit, so we're gonna have to kick those out, do a quick little front end alignment, but we've talked about how to do that. So that's where we'll end this video. Thanks everybody for watching, and make sure and subscribe, and we'll stay tuned for the next one.